जस्टिस चाहिए मुझे अभी भी हमारा संविधान में भरोसा है बट जस्टिस डिलेड
Siddique Kappan, a journalist, was arrested in October 2020 while he was on his way with 3 others to Uttar Pradesh's Hathras to cover the alleged gang rape and murder of a Dalit woman. Now, today we are in conversation with his lawyer, Wills Mathews. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time and speaking to me. So, since the last time we spoke until now, there have been a lot of updates in the case. To begin with, the Mathura court recently dropped some charges and some proceedings against Siddique Kappan and the other 3 accused in the first FIR. Now, this is not the same FIR under which the police had charged them under the stringent UAPA or sedition. This was for breach of peace. Now, to begin with, could you take us through the details of the hearing at the Mathura court?
The date of arrest was on 5th of October 2020. That was all CRPC offences, that is of all preventable in nature.
Right.
On 6th of October, we filed a habeas corpus petition before the Honorable Supreme Court of India because being a bailable offence, bail is a matter of right, then non-compliance of the directions in DK Basu, etc. On 7th, serious offences were implicated against him. Strictly speaking, it is highly improbable. Resulting in a situation, the habeas corpus pending before the Supreme Court was going on. Then, ultimately, on 28/4/2021, our habeas corpus was disposed of, stating, we were granted liberty to approach the court of competent jurisdiction for the purpose of bail. And I can say that our focus or priority was all about protecting his life. Life comes first, then only bail.
Absolutely.
Because we were, so, and more than that, we are very grateful to the Honorable Supreme Court. Despite of all the objections, the Honorable Supreme Court granted us, Mr. Siddique Kappan should be taken to All India Institute of Medical Science for the purpose of better treatment. And that is the only reason he is living right now. I believe that because he was in such a critical condition for all reasons. But unfortunately, before he was cured of his various medical problems, he was taken back to Mathura jail, resulting in a situation. We issued a contempt of court notice on the state of UP, the chief secretary, ADGP, and the jail superintendent, everybody. But what they have done is really, I think that they understood that they have committed the contempt because the order is very clear. And he was taken care of better after that contempt notice because he was kept separate, given good food and everything. Anyway, they have not replied to our contempt notice, resulting in because an order of the court is to be complied with. Then we issued a reminder notice also. Unfortunately, they have not responded to any of our notice. And on 31st of May, we filed an application for bail in Mathura courts. There was no listing. I think somebody told me that the computer is not working, net is not working in Mathura courts. I don't know exactly what happened. Then we requested the Honorable Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court with a, even though it is a one-page writ petition kind of thing, because in the past there were letter petitions also. Anybody writing in any corner of the world can write a letter to the Chief Justice, that will be taken care of. That was a practice prevalent here some 15-20 years back till that time. Now only this much restrictions, especially when issues concerning liberty of the citizen. I am not talking about all the cases. I am talking about habeas corpus or other writ petitions. Luckily, I think there was some correspondence. On 7th of this month, I got that our bail is registered and now it is posted for 22nd of this month. So we are waiting for the outcome of the bail.
Right. So do you think charges like the UAPA, the anti-terror law, sedition have made his release all the more difficult?
You see, because of about Mr. Siddique Kappan, he is a journalist. Don't take he as a citizen of India. He's one is for example, fundamental rights to all citizens. And secondly, a journalist is having some additional rights. Additional rights in the sense there should be always given the benefit of doubt. For example, if some materials that can have some connections with some illegality or immorality is found in the possession of a journalist, and if he is arrested, that is the end of journalism. Exactly. Nobody will dare to go to investigate or to make stories or to make reports on these kind of issues. One has to merge with these kind of issues, go in there, meeting them, interacting with them, only the original authentic stories will be out. And forget the part of the journalism. Even then, if we look at the FIR in its totality, followed by the charge sheet, my view is that there is nothing. Forget UAPA and other offenses, any offense. UAPA is a serious offense.
Absolutely.
That requires special reasons. So my point is this: nothing that will come under the definition of offense is made out in the entire FIR or in the charge sheet, because I have not seen the complete charge sheet. Nobody was delivered. Only the initial first part is given. It is around 5,500 pages.
Right.
So we are waiting for that actually.
So the court recently cited the failure of the police to submit its inquiry report within a period of 6 months. Now, this shows that the police clearly failed to provide any charge sheets or any evidence in this case. Now, what do you make of this? Because there are these are nothing but false charges, if we can say. And Siddique Kappan, a journalist, has been in jail for months. He's tested twice. His, the Kerala Journalist Union is fighting. His wife is fighting. What do you make of this?
Well, we can say that in most of the sensational cases, what happens is the arrest and the initial proceedings that will get a lot of coverage. Then after that, maybe after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, if they are acquitted, nobody will know about that.
True. Yeah.
So ultimately, it is a bigger punishment than the punishment as stated in the Indian Penal Code or other, the court. You see, in the eyes of the public, he is a terrorist. Am I right? After trial, 10 or 20 years, he is coming out free. Nobody will know what is all this about. Even there's a change of generation itself.
Absolutely.
And secondly, if there was a speedy administration of justice, this kind of illegal arrest would not have happened. Everybody knows that if a person is implicated in a case, that is the end of his life. A punishment bigger than what is stated in the penal code. That's all I can say. Because you cannot quote a price for the harassment and torture undergone by Mr. Kappan. I'm talking about only Kappan. So many cases like this. So it is an issue that go to the root of the administration of justice in India. And it is my view that a speedy administration of justice, that is must, failing which, that is the end of rule of law.
Absolutely. So if we go back in time a little, Siddique Kappan had tested positive for COVID-19 in the month of April, if I'm not wrong. He was first admitted to a hospital in Mathura, and then after his family made allegations, serious allegations, like he was chained to the bed in the hospital, he was then shifted to AIIMS, Delhi. Now, soon after he was discharged from AIIMS, he was shifted back to Mathura Central Jail. Now, this was without informing the lawyer, without informing the family, and there are reports that suggest that he was still COVID positive. What do you have to say about this? Because this shows inhumanity, at the least.
Really, he was chained in a, I don't remember the exact date, but he was chained in a court at KM Medical College, Mathura. Even though it was my submission every time 4 days, but ultimately Kappan corrected it that it was not 4 days, it was 5 days.
Okay.
And there is CCTV footage also. We requested the court to preserve that CCTV footage, but no response. So I filed an application in the court, let us have the CCTV footage. They said that even I have not gone there. So let the CCTV footage, let it be part of the record. Frankly, nothing is happening. I filed some application. But
Right.
anyway, about the human rights violation, one thing is, my feeling is this, however hardened, assuming that a person is a criminal even then, human right is a right.
Absolutely.
And a person should be arrested only because that is the law. There are so many judgments of the Supreme Court. Unless and until there are some reasonable suspicion, a person should not be arrested. If we look at the order of the SDM of this 15th of June 2021, because they were released, it is clear that nothing against them. They are all in experimental, I mean, just like, without any substance. I can say only that. There can be, I don't know the number of arrests of similar nature. This is in the limelight, so everybody know about that.
Absolutely.
The number of similar cases, only a proper investigation will reveal it. And as far as the case of Mr. Kappan is concerned, I can say that it was very unfair on the part of the state to arrest a journalist. I'm using the word journalist because that is the breath of democracy.
Yes.
If they are silenced, we cannot say that we are a democratic country, because that is very important. Anyway, recent judgments are all about what is terrorism, what is sedition, what is anti-national activity. And I feel that there is a good future when it comes to the citizens and journalists to see that they will not be arrested in future, because very good judgments, neutral judgment. What we don't want a positive judgment. We want a neutral judgment in the letter and spirit of the Constitution.
Yes.
Because nowadays judges are acting, even in Kappan's case. Frankly, we never expected that kind of order. I'm frankly speaking. But after seeing the judgment, I was shocked. What a beautiful judgment. Because that I'm talking about the trend in the last 10, 15 years.
Yes.
It was all one-sided for one reason or other. Not all, in many cases. I mean, at the cost of the liberty of the citizens. I have to say like that.
So recently, this video of Siddique Kappan coming out of the court and saying that he still believes in the Constitution has gone viral on social media, showing that he still has faith in the Constitution. But I'd like to ask you as his lawyer, do you think in this case, in Siddique Kappan's case, justice delayed has been justice denied? What do you think?
Well, that video was taken, I think, some 3 months back. I was there in that court at that time because the state filed an application for taking him to Lucknow for the purpose of taking his voice samples.
Right.
So we filed a detailed, elaborate reply stating that don't take him to Lucknow, because if he is taken to Lucknow, only his body will come back. There are serious threats. Instead of taking voice samples, take him to CBI headquarters in Delhi. Take narco analysis, brain mapping, or any kind of scientific test. I'm surrendering all my fundamental rights, my rights of defense. The point raised on that day was this: in case of a conflict between the fundamental right of the citizen on the one side and the safety, security, unity, and integrity of the nation on the other side, focus should be given on the unity of the integrity in national integration. I mean, unity and integrity of the state, safety and security.
Yes.
So a citizen is bound to waive all his fundamental rights for the betterment of the society or the betterment of the nation. So generally, lawyers never dare to write these kind of replies.
Yes.
Asking, giving something more than that what is asked. Then I asked Kappan 3 times. I mean, in half an hour break while in the court, whether I should give it or not. Because I have seen the application only from newspaper report. Because application was not served on me, but thinking that these are the issues, just like that. He has gone through the complete reply. He said that I'm very happy. I'm ready to surrender all my rights for the state. And I filed this. Judge Honorable, the Sessions Judge initially say he can be taken to Lucknow. But after reading my reply,
Hmm.
and I say that if your lordship is not convinced, I'm ready to give the real issues in a sealed envelope.
Hmm.
He allowed our application. That was dismissed. He was not taken for voice test to Lucknow. So they withdraw their application for taking him to Lucknow.
Right.
So we are only concerned about life, because if something untoward happened, everybody will think he was a criminal, now he is no more. Correct, no? So
True.
we want to ensure that he is safe. That's the reason.
Absolutely. What do you think lies ahead for him, sir? You know, because as you mentioned, all of these months that he served in the jail will not come back. Whatever he's gone through will remain with him, and eventually people will forget. But what do you think lies ahead now?
Uh, Frankly speaking, our bail matter is coming on next week, 22nd of June.
Okay.
And I hope that he will, we are expecting bail for him on this 22nd, after notice to the other side, after argument. Maybe it may take 2-3 days or 1 week, I don't know.
Hmm.
Then I think, as such, whatever I shared with him, according to the pleading, even otherwise also, I think that he will be a very good journalist, because journalist is not something that is taught in the four walls of a college or a school kind of thing. And this hard experience, despite being innocent, he was subjected to torture, all kind of other problems that will make him strong. I mean, I'm telling general principles, because that will make either die or more active. And
True.
secondly, what I have seen is this is a very authentic, sincere, honest journalist. And he was the secretary of Kerala Union of Working Journalists
Yes.
also. So from my interaction with him, as you said in the video, he say, I have faith in the system and everything.
Yes.
That was a video of more than 3 months back. I was
Right.
present on that day in the court.
Right.
He was not produced in the court yesterday or day before yesterday, nothing like that.
Hmm.
So about the future of Mr. Kappan, I don't know what are his plans. We are only concerned about his life and bail. But
Absolutely.
otherwise, I think that these hard realities will make him more refined, more articulate, and a better journalist.
Absolutely.
And because it is a kind of training.
Yes.
There are two ways. Suffering is also a kind of training if we take it in the positive way. Otherwise, of course, he will be finished. A person can even become insane because of all
Yes.
these kind of harassment and torture.
Right.
But I see, I'm seeing a better journalist in him once he is released. I'm hopeful.
That is wonderful, and that is very hopeful, sir. We obviously wish the best for him. So also recently in the Supreme Court, in the Vinod Dua case, the court said that governments cannot slap sedition cases against journalists who tend to question or criticize the government or point out or expose gaps in policies. Now, what do you have to say about this? Do you think dissenting journalists in the country are safe?
Well, frankly speaking, one thing I have noticed is this, even before that in Siddique Kappan's case itself on 28/5, the response of the court was very positive. Subsequently, there is a lot of judgments of this Vinod Dua case also, then recent judgment of the Delhi High Court also. We can see that a lot of energy, a lot of life in the working of the courts. I'm sorry to say that. I should not say that. I mean, you see, courts are temples of justice.
Absolutely.
And the confidence of the people in the courts are lost. That is the end of everything.
Yes.
And it was certain extent what is happening in this country, many lawyers, litigants, and the people, even because you see, the many people were concerned about that. Anyway, nowadays, what I, as an independent person, because of what I am seeing is this, the judgment of the Supreme Court in the High Court, the High Court of Delhi and Karnataka High Court, various High Courts, in Allahabad High Court, on various issues. they are acting like the guardian of the constitution.
Yes.
Because of because even in many issues, I don't want to point out anything, but it is a general trend,
Right.
and that's a welcome. I mean, they are acting neutral, because I always believe that there is nothing, a court cannot act positive or negative. Court should always act in a neutral manner according to the constitution.
Yes.
No, court is acting absolutely neutral according to the letter and spirit of the constitution.
Absolutely.
So naturally, it gives a lot of hope.
Absolutely. We are hopeful, sir, and we hope nothing but the best for Siddique Kappan. We hope justice is served in the case. I'd again like to thank you for taking out time and speaking to me.